Hey everyone, welcome to Burke & Smythe's Weekly Property Tips. I'm Mark Madden with my Director and Sales Leader, Jason Werrett.
How you going?
We're here today obviously to talk about renovating trends in both building and established homes. Jace, you've done this a couple of times.
I've done it a couple of times, yes.
Cottages, new houses and
Yep.
current house.
Yep.
Colours, where do we start, mate? What are you seeing at the moment?
I'd say it depends on what you're doing, like if you're an investor or whether it's for yourselves.
Yep.
But I think across the board, obviously recommendations are to keep things neutral.
Yep.
Things are into the greys and slight pastel colours, but more the greys at this stage. But definitely neutral colour palette is on trend and highly recommended anyway.
Yes. So no purple kitchens.
No.
Flooring wise, new products, we're seeing some really great products with vinyl tiling, which you're probably seeing as well.
Yeah, I've just put vinyl planks in my place, so it's definitely a popular item at the moment. Again, it's neutral, but they've got a nice timber looks. What you can get these days is phenomenal. The images that they put onto the planks, you still know that they're a vinyl floor covering, but the colour palettes and the detail that are in those are very, very impressive. So, with that, I recommend if it's for yourself, stick with quality. Don't try and skimp out and buy the cheapest product that you can. Definitely look for something that's got variety. Usually the more money you spend on something like that, the better quality image and the more variety they have through the palette, so that it does look more natural throughout the home.
You find that too on your feet, I reckon, as soon as you walk on it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it definitely feels nicer under the foot as well.
Kitchens, what are we seeing in kitchens, mate?
Kitchens, slight pastels coming in, very, very light pastel colours into the doors. Some are only half of them, so for instance, some of them might just have an island bench or the lower door frames and keep the higher ones as a neutral colour. So they're still keeping them light. There's nothing wrong with going darker, but the blacks seem to have probably started to ease out a little bit, definitely more into the lighter colours, neutrals, your stone, more into genuine marble looks,
Yep.
so more detailed in those marbles, and thick stone tops definitely still very popular. Again, highly recommend something that looks natural, not necessarily to be natural, so you don't have to spend the dollars and have the maintenance with that. And starting to see a few little textures come into play too, so not necessarily that high gloss polished finish. Some of them are more like just a raw finish on there. Yeah, hard to describe.
Almost like a concrete or exposed concrete.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Butler's Pantries, still big.
Very popular, yeah. So if you're building homes, obviously it's easier to incorporate a butler's pantry into a design factor.
Yep.
And bring that into play if you are looking at that for yourself. And I suppose if you are considering, that you might not hang on to this for forever, that it might be a 5-year turnaround or something like that, I'd highly recommend a butler's pantry. It always is a far more popular choice and gets what I would say more of a premium price. Obviously a bit harder in renovating homes to try and squeeze that into floor plans. Absolutely. If you can do it, still recommend it for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bathrooms obviously as well, so kitchens, bathrooms, probably two of the most desired or first looked at areas of the house. What do we see in bathrooms?
Bathrooms, probably a little bit of still seeing a bit of concrete look in the tiles.
Yep.
So natural stone looks, not necessarily natural stone, but just the tiles that replicate that. A little bit concrete looking in there. Definitely still seeing bathrooms fitted out, head to toe sort of thing. So floor to ceiling tiling, definitely in the wet areas.
Yep.
But throughout those bathrooms, again, it adds really good a premium feel to the home, easier to maintain and keep clean, and it does look better. Yeah. So that's a very popular choice, more in newer homes, older homes, depends on the bathroom size if you can manage it. Yep. Some old homes too, if they're an old, weatherboard for instance on, piers or that sort of thing, they do flex a little bit, so sometimes it's not recommended to go floor to ceiling tiling, because you might end up with cracking down the track and a bit extra movement. So depends on the structure of the home whether you should do that or not. And I'd get recommendations on that from someone qualified for sure.
Consult your tiler on that one.
Yeah.
Freestanding bars as well, still going in niches.
Yeah.
I think niches with the little herringbone patterns or different feature tiles.
Yep.
Seem to be pretty popular in new homes as well.
Yeah.
Outdoors, obviously Australia being very outdoorsy and obviously regional as well. We've got the room. What are we seeing in the outdoors, mate? Outdoor kitchens?
Yeah, outdoor kitchens I think are making a bit of a comeback. So they were on trend a few years ago, disappeared for a little bit, definitely back on trend now. Outdoor barbecues, the old Komodos, those sort of things. Definitely very popular now. I've got the barbecue and the smoker, so you've got to have room for it. But yeah, definitely, again, doing nice floor coverings I think in there, so tiling or polished concrete, paving, that sort of thing. Making areas spacious. I think you don't necessarily have an entertaining area that is completely undercover. So maybe have a smaller section that's undercover, but expand it out so that you've got more floor space to utilise for cooking appliances like that, fire pits, tables and chairs, that sort of thing. Definitely bigger is better to a degree if you can afford it as well. But yeah, on that sort of things, pretty good. And if you can, undercover ceiling fans, obviously helps keep the mozzies and flies away in the summertime.
Absolutely. And outdoor tellies now too becoming obviously part of the lifestyle to build the living outside. If you can't afford obviously to do nice flooring, I've seen a lot of great just rugs put down to create that sort of breakup of the harsh materials of concrete or paving, and that tends to work really, really well.
For sure.
Trending areas, so building, we're seeing obviously the north. We had a chat about this before we come on camera. What are we seeing, mate?
Northern side of town, so North Tamworth out to Moore Creek area. Extremely active at the moment on the building side of things. So there's, I don't know if there's any land out there now. We don't have anything available in our office. But yeah, it's been in huge demand and still is. There's a massive waiting list for clients wanting to purchase land and build out there. I think it's still that convenience to town is why it's very popular on that side. You know, close to CBD, hospital, medical facilities. There's obviously a new commercial area going out there, so I think that is a bit of a draw card, bringing people to that spot. Second to that, Kalala's always popular. Again, limited supply of land. But those modern estates, family living, very, very popular for investors and owner-occupiers to go into there. Established areas?
Yeah, I was just going to say, established, I think it's still probably close to the CBD, the Federation style, East North Tamworth obviously does really well. If you are watching this and you are from out of town or out of area, all the suburbs in town with the 2340, so it becomes even more difficult. You have to trust the agent that you're dealing with. Obviously, feel free to ask us if you find a home with another agent, where is this located as a suburb, to give you a perspective on that location style of things. One of the biggest probably trending areas, Central West.
Yeah, Central West area, yeah. Close to the CBD, shopping world, which is a great shopping centre over there. So schooling is nearby, it's very central to that too. And you still get those older character homes. So it's not probably as strong in values as East, so you don't have to spend $1 million to get into the area. And you still get some good classic, you know, some Federation homes in that area there, but just it's a nice aspect and a really good spot.
Nice wide streets too, Denison, Belmore, they're all really great streets. Gibbs Street, fantastic little area. Thanks again obviously for watching, thanks Jace for joining us today. Next week we're going to have Natalie, our BDM, our Business Development Manager, to talk all things from investment. If you're watching this on our newsletter, thank you once again. There's an unsubscribe button down the bottom if you don't want to receive these again. If you're watching on YouTube and you want to catch up on the next tips and advice video that we do, just hit that little alert and that'll come out to you as soon as we post another video. Thanks again. We'll see you next week for another Burke and Smythe tips and advice.
See you later.